Something big is happening on cruise ships in 2025, and cruise lines are worried. Embarkation day lines at guest services aren't just for key cards anymore. They're full of passengers quietly removing automatic gratuities. Not a few cheapskates, dozens in a row, saying no thanks to a system that has propped up cruise economics for decades. Fares look low, fees creep higher, and crew appreciation starts to feel like payroll outsourcing. Who really gets paid? Who actually gets hurt? Today we're decoding Carnival, Royal Caribbean, MSC, NCL, Princess, Disney, and Virgin, how gratuities really work and what smart cruisers do instead. Stay to the end. Secret number 7 shocks even loyal cruisers. 1. The price increases that broke the camel's back. The 2024 to 2025 gratuity hikes were so aggressive they flipped passengers from "go with it" to "remove it." Most passengers think these are tiny inflation tweaks. The truth is, stacked across 7 nights and multiple guests, they feel like a second mini cruise fare. You board a 7-night Disney cruise in a concierge stateroom. At $27.25 per person per day, your folio shows roughly $762 in crew appreciation before sail away. Next cabin over on Royal Caribbean, a family finds a quiet $0.50 per day bump that hit after they booked. Only $14 more for the week, but it still stings. Down the hall, an NCL Haven couple sees $25 pp/day and does the math. That is a specialty dining night gone. Here's why this matters. When gratuities rival shore excursions, drink packages, or specialty dining, they stop feeling like tips for great service. They read as mandatory fees with a friendlier name. And that S when people head straight to guest services on day 1 to take back control, long before anyone else had a chance to earn or fix service. Timing can quietly change what you pay. Mid-season increases mean 2 identical cabins on the same sailing can pay different totals depending on whether you prepaid before the change or waited to settle on board. Most cruisers don't realize this until they see the folio. Build a total trip worksheet before you book. Fare plus taxes/fees plus daily gratuities plus packages. And if you plan to keep base tips, prepay to lock the rate. If you're unsure, pay on board, review service by day 2 to 3, then adjust with targeted cash to the cabin, MDR, and bar staff who truly earn it. 2. What lines tried to hide, and why transparency backfired. Cruise lines tried to win trust with transparency, and it blew up in their face. Most passengers think their gratuities go straight to their cabin steward and their dining team. The truth is, pooling formulas and deductions can send your money places you'd never expect. A celebrity guest shares an onboard chart that looks reassuring. Roughly 60% to dining/culinary, 29% to housekeeping, and the rest to hotel services. Social media doesn't applaud. It explodes. Comments translate the corporate speak. So I'm subsidizing payroll, not rewarding service. Then a Princess cruiser discovers another twist. Fleet-wide pooling and credit card processing fees deducted before distribution. She thought her tip followed her Caribbean cabin. In reality, part may support crew she'll never meet on a ship she'll never sail. When recognition gets blurred by formulas, goodwill dies. Tips stop feeling like appreciation and start feeling like a mandatory hotel service charge. That's the tipping point, literally, where remove at the desk becomes a principled stand, not penny pinching. And once those screenshots go viral, behavior shifts overnight. Guest services lines swell on embarkation day. Crew pools get volatile. Morale wobbles. But here's the catch. Gets averaged out, and you feel powerless. Run a hybrid plan. Keep a base auto gratuity to support back of house. Then carry $1s, $5s, $10s for targeted cash. Cabin steward, MBR server/assistant, favorite buffet, or pool bar staff. Tip mid-cruise, not just at the end. And spell names correctly in your post-cruise survey with venue/time details. You'll protect the operation and directly reward the people who make your cruise unforgettable. 3. The Virgin Voyages pivot. When tips included didn't stay included. Even the poster child for tips included blinked, and that changed the game overnight. Most passengers think if a cruise line promises gratuities are included, that promise is carved in steel. The truth is, pricing optics beat principles when comparison sites sort by the lowest base fare. Asterisk real-life story. You book Virgin Voyages because it's refreshingly simple. No automatic gratuities, no nickel and diming. You brag to friends. What you see is what you pay. Weeks before sailing, your travel agent calls. Virgin's unbundling gratuities into a $20 per person per night service charge. Your base fare looks cheaper online now, but your real total climbs. At the dock, sailors swap the same story. I chose Virgin because they were different. The bartender's still fantastic, the vibe still premium, but the trust? It took a hit. In your cabin, you open the booking emails. Old screenshots say included, new ones don't. You feel like the rules moved mid-game. When a brand built on simplicity shifts to add-ons, it signals where the whole market is headed, toward lower advertised prices and higher after-the-fact totals. That confusion fuels guest services lines, tip removals, and friction with crew who didn't make the policy. And once one trendsetter pivots, others have cover to align. But here's the catch. Unbundling isn't always more expensive. For some cruisers, it can be cheaper, depending on habits. The danger is assuming it's a deal because the base fare looks pretty. Price every sailing 3 ways. 1. Base plus autograts. 2. Base plus targeted cash plus only the packages you'll use. 3. Bundle with tips included. Screenshot inclusions, bring small bills, and plan a mid-cruise cash thank you for standout cabin, MDR, and bar staff so you decide who benefits. For what crew quietly tell passengers. Cash and name mentions matter most if you want your gratitude to hit home. Cash in hand, and a name in the survey beat pooled math every time. Most passengers think, I paid the auto gratuity, my cabin steward and dining team are covered. The truth is, pooled systems are necessary for the cruise hotel machine, but they blur your impact on the people who served you best. You're on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas. By day 2, the pool bar server knows your mocktail and your kid's name. You hand her a small cash envelope mid-cruise and say you LL mention her by name in the app survey. She lights up. Later she explains, name mentions can unlock days off, internet access, specialty meals, even Employee of the Month nominations. In the MDR, your assistant server quietly confirms it. Pooled money helps everyone, but direct cash is immediate and certain. That night, your drinks appear faster, your bread arrives warm, and the steward checks your cabin twice without being asked. Why it matters? When recognition is personal and timely, service often levels up right away. Pooled tips keep laundry, galley, and housekeeping support funded, essential, but the human connection, the reason you tip, shows up when someone knows you chose them. Most cruisers wait until disembarkation morning. By then, it's too late to improve your week or to get that server noticed by her supervisor. Run a hybrid. Keep the base auto gratuity to support back of house. Then carry $1s/$5s/$10s for mid-cruise cash to standout crew, cabin steward, MDR server/assistant, favorite buffet server, go to bartender, kids club. In your survey, spell names correctly and add venue/time and your cabin number. Cash plus name mention is the fastest way to change a crew member's week. 5. The dirty truth about wages. When a tip fills a paycheck gap, passengers stop feeling generous and start feeling used. Most passengers think gratuities are a bonus for great service. The truth is, in some roles, automatic gratuities complete compensation. So when lines hike rates, it feels like you're covering payroll, not rewarding excellence. Real-life story. You're midweek on a Caribbean sailing. Your cabin steward has been phenomenal, fixing a stuck balcony door, finding a lost toy, turning the room twice a day. At dinner, a tablemate quietly shares a relative's old ship pay stub, tiny base wage, the rest labeled gratuity pool. Online, corporate spokespeople deny tips replace wages, categorically false. But no one publishes a clean side-by-side of base salary versus pooled receipts. Back in your cabin, you look at the folio, hundreds in crew appreciation, plus service lines on drinks, specialty dining, spa. It doesn't feel like appreciation anymore. It feels like accounting. Once guests believe autograts equal outsourced payroll, goodwill evaporates. That's the moment people head to guest services to remove charges on principle, then scramble to tip cash so the right people don't suffer. Crew experience the whiplash first: volatile pools, unpredictable take-home, morale dips. Going to zero without a plan does hurt the people you see daily: cabin, MDR, buffet, bar, while corporate balance sheets barely blink. Integrity demands a smarter play. Choose impact with receipts. Either A. Keep the base auto gratuity to support back of house and add targeted cash to standout crew, or B. If you remove on principle, replace the total with a written cash map. Steward, largest share, MDR team favorite bartender buffet, / public areas. Track totals in your notes app, tip mid-cruise, and add name mentions in the survey so supervisors see who delivered. 6. The numbers behind the backlash, from fringe to normalized. Removing gratuities used to be taboo. Now it's turning into the standard playbook for experienced cruisers. Most passengers think only cheapskates ask guest services to remove autograts. The truth is, repeat cruisers are leading the shift, and first-timers copy what veterans normalize online. Real-life story. Embarkation day on an NCL Caribbean run. You hop in the guest services line to fix a keycard. 8 of the 9 parties ahead quietly request removal before sail away. Not because of bad service. They haven't even met their cabin steward. It's principle. That night, you scroll Facebook and Reddit. Respected members share step-by-step scripts, how to re-add later, and sample cash maps. A first-timer comments, "I didn't know you could do this." By morning, they're in line too. As removals spread, the gratuity pool becomes volatile. Cruise lines respond with policy tweaks, higher service charges, tighter re-add rules, or more aggressive bundling that makes totals harder to predict. Crew feel it first via inconsistent take-home and morale dips. Your service experience can wobble if the system swings too far, too fast. Crowd behavior can push the pendulum to extremes. Either zeroed charges with no replacement or blind acceptance with double tips everywhere. Both waste money and hurt the wrong people. Decide your why before you board. If you keep autograts, target extra cash where service shines and avoid double tipping when receipts say service included. If you remove on principle, replace the total with a written cash plan and name mentions in the survey within 48 hours post-cruise. Specifics: name, venue, time, cabin. Make sure the right crew benefit fast. 7. The global reality check. Australia and UK prove another way. 200 to 300 words, same ships, same crew, different rules, and far less drama when service is included in the fare. Most passengers think auto gratuities are unavoidable. The truth is, markets like Australia and the UK run models with included service or no required tipping, and service still shines. You sail Royal Caribbean from Sydney. There is no daily tipping debate. Service is baked into the fare. On a P&O UK voyage, the message is clear. Tipping isn't required. Your cabin is immaculate. MDR service is warm and fast. Bar staff smile without handing you a POS screen asking for 18% to 22% on top. Meanwhile, your cousin sailing from Florida is spreadsheeting. Daily charges, specialty dining service fees, Wi-Fi grats, room service fees, shore excursion tip boxes. Same brand families. Different pricing philosophy. Completely different guest mood. The tipping fight isn't about generosity. It's about pricing honesty. Where fares are transparent, guests can focus on experiences instead of receipts. Recognition becomes personal again. Small envelopes and sincere thank yous, without the constant fear of double paying. Some tips included markets offset with higher base fares. If you don't compare apples to apples, you might assume one itinerary is pricier when the total actually evens out. When pricing Europe/Australia cruises, check whether service is included and budget a small cash kit only for standout crew. For U.S. sailings on Carnival, Royal Caribbean, NCL, Princess, Disney, MSC, assume service lines across bars, specialty dining, spa, room service, and shore excursions. Build them into your pre-cruise total so there are no folio shocks and your tipping stays intentional. 8. What you should actually do. You can protect your budget and still be the passenger crew love. Use a simple hybrid plan. Most passengers think the only choices are pay everything blindly or remove to zero. The truth is, a crew-first hybrid gives you control, clarity, and impact. On a 7-night Royal Caribbean cruise, you plan ahead. You'll keep the base auto gratuity to support back of house. You pack a labeled cash pouch with $1s/$5s/$10s. Targets: cabin steward, $60 to $100. MDR server/assistant, $40 to $80. Favorite buffet server and pool bartender, $10 to $20 each. Kids Club, $10 to $20. By day 3, your steward anticipates towel swaps. The MDR team nails your preferences, and the bartender has your mocktail waiting. You deliver first envelopes mid-cruise and promise name mentions. That same night, service levels up again. Why this matters for you? The hybrid approach stops runaway folios, kills accidental double tipping, and ensures money reaches the humans who changed your week. Meanwhile, the operation you don't see, laundry, galley, housekeeping support, still gets funded. If you remove without a plan, you'll save money in the short term but risk starving the exact crew you value. Follow this 4-step plan. Audit receipts. If service included appears, add extra only for exceptional moments. Keep a base autograph for the whole operation. Carry a cash kit and tip mid-cruise where service shines. File survey name mentions with correct spelling, venue/time, and cabin. Cash plus recognition is the fastest way to reward excellence. The 2025 Gratuity Revolt isn't about stinginess. It's about trust and control. Aggressive hikes and messy transparency pushed cruisers to fight back. Pooling keeps the ship running, but real appreciation is personal. Win both ways. Keep a base for the operation, audit receipts to avoid double tips, and deliver mid-cruise cash plus name mentions to the crew who make your cruise unforgettable. If you remove on principle, replace the total with a clear cash map so the right people win. If this helped you sail smarter, like the video, subscribe to Cruise Smart, and comment your strategy: auto on, auto off, or hybrid. Name your best crew member and ship. We shout out one story each week.